Well, hello and welcome back to Supposedly Fun. I am Greg here today. Well, it's been a minute. I didn't really do any videos last week. I managed to do one and get it edited and uploaded, but I didn't do a whole lot. So basically just, general life stuff. But I wanted to get back this week, and I thought something that would be kind of easy and fun to do and a little bit different would be just like a Christmas decoration tour. And I would start with this, which is our advent calendar. This was made by my husband's grandmother somewhere around 1970. As you can see, it's a little bit worse for where it's made out of felt. There are pockets in the bottom where you can put all of the different ornaments that hang on the tree, one for each day. The only one that's missing right now is the one for Christmas Eve, which I'll give you a little sneak preview. If I can get it out one-handed, I can't. Wait. Here we go. That is the angel, which goes on top of the tree. This is the stocking that my husband used as a child. It was also made by his grandmother. It's one of our favorite Christmas decorations to bring out every year. You can see a lot of these, because they're older, have gotten wrinkled, and we're always terrified to iron them or do anything. So if you know about caring for felt, please let me know, because we really want to. Every year we say we're going to do something to take care of these guys, and then we're too afraid to actually do anything. So if you know about the care of felt over time, drop a comment down below. Up next, here is our mantle with our stockings. I had to turn my foster son's the other direction because I can't post his name anywhere. But yeah, so we have these fun little weights to hold down each of the stockings, one for each of us, and the dogs get their own stockings as well, because of course. This is our foster son's advent calendar, and then down here we have our stained glass fireplace, a little bit of Snoopy. My husband painted this. We love painting our own pottery as well, so that's all just kind of fun. And here's Jamie just hanging out in her Christmas sweater next to this table, which is all filled with Christmas stuff right now. Jamie is sitting where you can see my laptop. I usually sit next to her while I'm working. Guinness is over here as well, wearing his Christmas sweater and wondering what I'm up to. But anyway, this table covered with Christmas stuff. This is a new addition. We have always wanted to do a Christmas village, but have not really started on them yet because these guys are expensive. But this year we decided to get this cute little home because we figured we would start with a home base. And we have 2 snow globes. I painted this light up wreath. My husband painted this light up red pickup truck with a Christmas tree. I painted the Christmas tree. We actually made this vase. It's not a Christmas decoration. We took a glass blowing class a few years ago. Just some kind of Christmassy candles and things like that. Oh, this is our coaster we use all year long, but that is actually my husband dressed up as Santa. The dog training center that we go to wanted to do pictures with Santa one year, so he volunteered to dress up as Santa, and that's Guinness and Jamie with him. Let's get into the tree, because that's, the main thing going on, the big centerpiece of all the Christmas decorations. I mentioned we cut down our own tree. When we first did that, I got a couple of comments that the trees are, not as full as ones that you would get. There she is in all her glory. Not as full as trees that you might get in a lot. They don't always have that defined shape. You can see there's not much of a point at the top, but this is just something that happens when you cut down your own tree, because the trees you get on a lot were specifically grown for that purpose. This grew out in nature, so it doesn't get the same light situation, doesn't get the same water situation. But part of the fun is finding a tree that will work in your space. This is a 12-foot ceiling, and it goes right up to the top. So let's look at some of the ornaments. We don't follow a specific theme. I know a lot of people will do silver and white ornaments and things like that. We don't do that. Basically, we like to look at this tree as something that tells the story of our family. So let's look at them. I don't know if you can see the star all that well at the top of the tree. That is made from decorations at my father's wedding when he married his longtime partner. They got married on December 17th, so they had a Christmas theme to their wedding, and we took these decorations and my husband fashioned them into a star for the top of the tree, so everything right up to the star at the top of the tree is something that has a story and is meaningful. This ornament right here is one of my absolute favorites. It's a little drummer boy. I used to play with him as if he was an action figure when I was a kid. I don't know why, something about his little angelic face always just made me happy. And my mother gave me a couple of ornaments from our childhood Christmas tree so I could have them with me. This is one of them. I'll find the others. Both of these ornaments also came from my childhood Christmas tree. You can see they don't really make ornaments like this anymore, but they were everywhere when I was a kid. So it's kind of fun to have them on. I always like to hang this guy high up on the tree because then I pretend to myself that he's going to ski his way down the mountain. The mountain, of course, being the tree. Over there is a macaroon ornament. We love macaroons. Our wedding cake was actually made out of macaroons in part, so that's something that we really, really love. And then, of course, we have a rubber duck, which was a gift from my sister, and Yukon Cornelius, because who would not want Yukon Cornelius on their tree? I made this stocking for myself. Of course, it's flannel because I love that. There's a KitchenAid for my husband who loves to bake. We have a lot of food-themed things. This glass ornament is something that we made. It didn't turn out exactly the way we wanted it to, but it's still fun. You see a lot of Welsh Terriers and dog ornaments on the tree. Here's one for Guinness. There's one for Jameson somewhere around here as well. We have, this is something we got in Vermont. There you go. My family used to go to Vermont around Christmas every year, so it kind of ties in with the Christmas theme. That is actually where my father got married, close to Christmas, and I think this may have actually been a favor from the wedding. And actually my father just moved to Vermont. So there you go. This Grinch you see back here is something my husband painted at a store. He did a really great job. It came together very well. We bought a bunch of ornaments at a Hallmark store in Kansas City. That is actually where Hallmark is based, and that was our first Christmas after we moved away from New York City, so we could actually have a large tree. So we bought a bunch of ornaments there. I believe this came from there as well. It's probably supposed to be a blueberry pie, but we call it a huckleberry pie. Huckleberry is something that it's kind of common in the region where we live, especially in the summer. If you haven't had one, it's basically Jesus magic. It's kind of like a more tart blueberry. This Fabergé egg looking one is also something we got from that store in Kansas City. This red pickup with the Christmas tree and the dog is something that's becoming our signature Christmas logo, I guess you would call it. This is from our first Christmas tree together. We were living in New York City, so we didn't have ornaments. And we just got a very small tree, and these were really cheap at a Dwayne Reed, but we've kept them because they were from our first Christmas tree, and we kind of like that they're almost peacockish, so we just held on to them. This also came from that store in Kansas City. This one was a gift. My in-laws went to Europe over the summer, and they came back with some ornaments for us. This came from Switzerland, I believe, and there's a cowbell ornament up there that they brought back with them as well for us. Moving along, here's another one of the ornaments that they brought back from Switzerland. Let me block out my foster son's name since we can't share it, but we always do a family ornament every year. And this is the one that we did last year. So it was one of those, you pick out charms for everybody and have them made into an ornament. So we did that. This little chef snowman also came from that store in Kansas City. My husband likes to bake, so there are a lot of baking or cook themed ornaments on our tree. And here, that's Guinness's ornament from 2017. There's another photo ornament with Jamie somewhere on the tree as well. This was our family ornament for the year 2017. That was the year before our foster son joined the family. And here is something we bought so Moraine Lake is where my husband and I got married. These ornaments were part of the favors that we gave to people who came to the wedding, and we have a couple of them on our tree as well. This was a gift that somebody gave to my husband and I, and we absolutely love it. That is from our wedding on Lake Moraine. There is more on the other side, but we have it facing this way, because this is right next to the couch, which is where I work from home most of the day, so I get to see it, and it makes me happy. And it's right underneath this photo of Lake Moraine that we have on the wall, so it kind of ties together. The little drummer boy ornament is actually also something that I can see from where I work. So there you go. This ornament was a gift from somebody the year that my husband and I got married. It's, you know, gay snowman, so of course, why not? The pickle is something that my brother-in-law brought to the family. I think it's a Scandinavian thing that you have a pickle ornament that you hide somewhere on the tree, and then when people, if you were the first person to find it, you were supposed to have good luck. And somehow that it was something his parents did for him and his sister, and he brought it into our family, and I made sure we got a pickle ornament to put on our tree as well, because I think that's just kind of fun. And you can see here that this is our 2016 family ornament. This is where we started leaning into the idea of the red car and getting your own Christmas tree, because we have a photo somewhere of the two dogs looking out the window of the car with a Christmas tree on top of it, and it's actually what inspired this whole thing. I used to work in the Flatiron building when I was working at Macmillan in New York City, so we got an ornament that has the Flatiron building. We have this fun little moose that comes from Glacier National Park. That orange ornament in the back also came from that store in Kansas City. This 2013 ornament is actually the one that started the trend of us buying an ornament to mark the year for each member of the family. This one was a gift from somebody, and then in 2014, we got a matching ornament for Jamie. This was her first Christmas with us, and then we went from there and just every year have added to it. This glass one we got from a Simon Pierce store in Vermont. We love it. Moving back down, there's gingerbread man on a sheet baking tray. There's another ornament for Guinness. This right here is a suitcase for Italy. We have not made it to Europe, but we hope to someday, and Italy is the location we want to go to the most, so every year it just kind of makes us sad. These were the other ornaments we got from Dwayne Reed for our very first Christmas tree. They are also kind of peacockish, so we've held on to them. A Canadian moose, because we get married in Canada. This kind of fat Santa is another one that we got from Kansas City that first Christmas. A Welsh Terrier wearing a flannel, because of course. And there is another Welsh Terrier. This one was a gift from my sister. These mini Fabergé eggs, you guessed it, came from that store in Kansas City. Okay, this snowman is something that my husband painted. It has a fun little secret around the back. Let's go take a look. He painted it a butt crack, which makes this a really fun ornament. So just a fun little fact for you. Here is, I'm going to leave the name blocked out. That is something that our foster son painted. And this comes from the place where we got married in Canada. This was actually a gift from a college friend of my sister's. We had a joke that we were going to write a sitcom called That Darn Buddha. So she gave it to me. And our foster son is really into Buddhism and meditation. So he really enjoys it. He painted this ornament. My husband brought back these ornaments that look like cookies, but they're not cookies, because every year we make our own sugar cookies. Son loves cactus, so there's that one. There's another baking gingerbread man. One year my sister was really into mustaches, so she gave us this. And there's another baking snowman. I painted that guy. My husband used to be a firefighter, so we have that one for him. Another Welsh Terrier. We toured the Ben & Jerry's factory in Vermont. So there's where we got that one. We got this I Heart New York when we were moving away from New York. This train is actually another one of my childhood ornaments. And I like to put it up high so I can pretend that the train is going to ride its way down to the bottom. And lastly, another one of my favorite ornaments is this bear in a hot cocoa mug with little marshmallows. And I also love this little hedgehog. and that squirrel. The squirrel is because there was a chipmunk on Lake Moraine, and we managed to get pictures of it at our wedding, so we've kind of leaned into a squirrel slash chipmunk theme as well. And lastly, we have this moose in the Empire State Building. The Empire State Building is one of my husband's favorite New York landscape things. His father went to New York when he was a child and brought him back a model of the Empire State Building, and he was kind of obsessed with it ever since. So there you go. Oh, and we have a little shallot. I call it an onion. My husband calls it a shallot. He probably knows better than I do. So there you go. And here are some of the cookies that we painted this year. It's just something we love to do every year. That tradition started by my sister. I tried to make Mary Berry, but she just looks like a crafty grandmother. So it is what it is. But yeah, there you go. And there you have it. That is my Christmas decoration tour, my Christmas tree tour. It's just something that makes me happy at this time of year. This is where I spend most of my time working because I get sandwiched between the dogs and they don't want to allow me to sit at a table like a normal human being. So it is really nice to have something like this right here. And I feel like because we approach our tree as a sort of story about ourselves and our over the years and things like that, I feel like it's a fun, it's not an impersonal video. Our Christmas tree is deeply personal to us. So I wanted to try to share that with you as part of this holiday season. If you celebrate Christmas, I would like to say Merry Christmas. If you don't, Happy Holidays, and I hope you're enjoying this time of year. As I said, it's been a crazy week, but I have already been editing pieces of a video for tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. It's going to be kind of like I think it's going to be a fun way of celebrating my first year anniversary on BookTube, and I'm looking forward to sharing that with you. And then next week, I am going to be finalizing my December reading wrap-up, my 2019 reading wrap-ups, and starting to get set on my goals for 2020. So stay tuned for that as well. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for taking the time to spend on this video. I appreciate it as always, and I will be back. Until then, happy reading and Merry Christmas!